Hey, I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Essentially, I was recording, but I'll start the intro again. Fuck it. Okay, so hey everyone, this is actually. Let me move. Let me sit here. I think sitting here will be okay. Okay, sick. Basically, I moved the mic and then everything like changed, but it is what it is. Hello everyone, welcome. This is another episode of the DMC, a spin-off of DM Talks, a podcast that aims to promote well-being and assist healing. In the DMC, which is a bi-weekly minisode, you decide if I'm connecting, sense, or chatting shit. I'm by myself this week. I'm Sarah DM, also known DM.Seerah. And yeah, I'm just out here. I'm really just out here. Like, I was just saying in my first initial recording that I was creating a podcast last week and I got 45 minutes into it. Was meant to release it, went to go edit it, and it just went out of nowhere. Like, it completely disappeared, like crashed on me. And I was just like, right, apparently God did not want me to release that episode. So I'm out here back again trying to release stuff just because I know that with content creation, especially, consistency is what's going to help you yield those results. And regardless of like how much motivation you have, if you're disciplined and are consistent in sprouting your message and showing up for yourself and showing up for your long-term goals, they will come and bless you as well in the future. So you just need to keep on going, really. So here I am, reason why I'm back. Whoever's looking at the visuals today, they'll be able to see my fucking beautiful face. I just got this brand new pink mascara at my work and I just put it on my eyebrows and my eyelashes, and I can't lie, but I look motherfucking cute. Right now I am like just flexing to my webcam on my laptop just because I have pink eyebrows and I also have pink mascara, and yeah, I look cool. Because I always see people doing it on like, you know, TikTok or Drag Race or like whatever, where they can block their brows and make it in different colours, and I'm like, I can't do that. Like, every time I've tried, I've failed. So maybe that's like my goal for, you know, Leo season. And actually, you know what? That takes me to a great fucking segue, because today marks the day of Leo season. I want y'all all to stand up, be the confident selves, follow play, follow courageous. Because you know what? It's that damn fucking season. It's Leo time. We're going to party. We're going to shake and yash. We're going to be happy. We're going to love. We're going to protect. And we're going to just have all the plays. And, if you don't know this, if you don't know me by now, I'm a Leo moon. And I think like the more that I learn about myself, the more I can like believe that I'm a Leo moon. Like, before, I could only sort of recognize my Leo moon in my like pridefulness and my rage. But now I can sort of accept it in my playfulness, in my flirtiness, in my like optimism. So yeah, that's really exciting. We're entering Leo season, and I think it's a time where we can really just play, you know. Like, one thing that I wanted to mention since like having a guest hiatus is the fact that like now I'm like really changing my perspective, and I'm literally just following the crumbs of joy. And I think like using the crumbs of joy as a guide to the pathway to my own happiness and to my own like liberation is going to help me like set and sink and anchor into my changed perspective of just being free. I went away recently to Bournemouth for a couple of days. I think it was like 4 days and stuff. And it's honestly so true how like a changed environment can help with your mental health so much. Like, I was able to go and get in the sea. I was in a hotel, and it was just so like refreshing that I was able to sort of just be in a relaxed environment where I only had to care for me. And I came back to like my house after that 4-day break, and I honestly just felt so like rejuvenated. I definitely felt cleansed by the sea. Cancer season really was coming for our necks, but I think like I really appreciated Cancer season this year because I think it was just a really reflective time for me, and I think it really just helped me sort of adjust and acquire my values. I think following on from the tarot. Was it a tarot reading? No, it wasn't a tarot reading. It was an episode that I did with Reanne, Bop Read the Oracle. We were talking about the Hierophant and the values. And when I was in the sea in Bournemouth, it just made me realize that, like, I'm getting everything that I want wants me to. Like, everything that I desires me to. So, like, my approach just needs to be open and gentle and compassionate and not frustrated, because if I'm frustrated, it's not going to get my desires any quicker. So when we discussed, values and metrics and what we really want and what we are how we're using our discernment to around like false idols of what we want, in the Hierophant episode with Reanne, it made me realize, like, when I was in the sea, that I'm refreshed, I'm kind, I'm open, I'm receptive to all the desires that I want. So I just need to, like, believe myself. And, like, that's been really, really obvious over the past couple of weeks. Like, I'm getting so many blessings right now. Like, honestly, mark this fucking space. Like, oh, you know what? This takes me to and the next thing that I wanted to mention. So I have some big news. I'm doing that really, really annoying influencer thing, being like, I can't tell you guys just yet. I can't tell you guys just yet. But it's just because, like, I've been working on something for maybe seriously, like 8 months now. 8 months now. I haven't told I've told one person. But, like, I've known about this literally since I was, how old was I when I first got this dream? Maybe like 17. So I've been getting dreams, right? Like, my spirit team like to communicate stuff to me in my dreams for the longest time. Like, the easiest way that I can make sense of it is that, you know how you have an auntie who's like, I saw a dream. You shouldn't be going on that place for holiday. I saw a dream. I'm just that auntie. I'm just not at auntie age. And that's the easiest way I can make sense of it. But long story short, I kept on having an idea, this dream, and I never really understood it as a teenager, because I just thought it was like a setting, and like, as I've grown up, as I've like embraced my, like, I guess, clairvoyant abilities, where I've embraced my spirituality and like my shadow work, etc., I've been trying to like understand and identify, like, what is my purpose in this life? Like, what am I being encouraged to do in like God's image? And I really like had to think about it, but I also didn't want to think too much, because I think like things will come to you when they want to, like they will make themselves known when they want to, and spirit made themselves, let's say, fucking known over the past 2 years, like very, very, very obviously, where I was like, I can't actually like ignore this. And like, this goes to another shout out. Shout out Ellis, aka Spirituralbaddi, on Instagram, because I had my first ever spiritual reading with them in 2020, and they told me that I'm a way shower. They told me like so many different things about me, which like I was just kind of, I loved the reading, absolutely loved it, but I was shocked because I still, in God's eyes and in my eyes, I was still playing small. Like, I was still playing small, and like Ellis was speaking so much praise, so much abundance, so much hope, and so much wisdom over my life. It just took me off guard, because I was just like, what? God thinks this of me. God thinks this of little old Sarah. And like, since that reading with Ellis, and since my dreams have become more succinct, I've understood what God wants me to do now. And like, this leads me into letting you guys know that in September, I'm going to be, well, maybe actually I might release it in August, but basically something sick with me, aka Sarah DM, aka Seerah, DM.Seerah. Yeah, you heard it here first. Something amazing is coming into fruition. I'm gonna share it all with you in either August and September. I'm so excited to you, because it's like I've lived in this life. Let me just tell you that I have a lot of life experience, and now I realize all of it has come to this moment. So I'm really, really excited to share that with you. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking sick. Just like, all I can say is that get ready to shake Nyash and use divine vibes to get your life. Use the divine vibes to get your life. That's all I have to say. Like it's going to be fucking lit. And that's me stopping being that, you know, really annoying influencer person being like, oh my God, I got something to show. I'm so excited to share you something, but you know, I can't actually tell you just now because, you know, like it's really excited. So be excited, but I can't actually tell you. So that was me. I guess another thing that I'm going to share with you guys as well. Well, actually, you know what? Let me have some tea because I can feel myself flowing. Oh, that was good. It's really tasty. I'm having like this matcha green puka tea. I put some agave syrup in it, and it's just delicious, delicious. But yeah. So on another bit of news, God wants me to rebrand as a love and relationships tarot reader. And at first, I was a bit shocked because I was just like, me love, like, don't get me wrong, I'm loving, but like, I don't want to be like those people on fucking TikTok being like, oh my God, this Aquarius is coming to you, da 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 da, like all of this shit. And like, yeah, I was just like apprehensive about it. Anyway, God was like, look, you're going to become this tarot reader because this is where your heart healing is. And because you have like a resistance to talking about love and relationships, it's going to even make you the better reader because you're not coming from bias. Like you're not going to tell people what they want to hear because it will soothe their soul. You're going to tell it from a perspective which can take in their well-being, but also their openness, and then therefore your openness. So like, okay, Spirit, thank you very much. So I've been really reflecting on that. I've been actually working a lot on my TikTok. If you haven't followed already, go do so. My name is DM.Seerah, Seerah, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like, I'm just having like a lot of playtime on TikTok, and I'm able to like learn a bit more, just doing some like interesting, just interesting education bits. So I definitely say go look on there. It also led me to ask people on TikTok and people on Instagram, like, what do you want to know? Like, what is it about love and relationships and dating and sex and all them things there that you want to get assistance from spirit, from universe, from God to navigate? Because I think, especially over the pandemic, like it's just identified how much people do want companionship and how much do people do want intimacy. But unfortunately, like a lot of people weren't taught how to love. So if we're not taught how to love, like how can we go into these relationships knowing that they're healthy, you know, knowing that they're going to like rejuvenate us, refresh us as much as we desire. And so I've just been really like thinking about that, and this, I guess, led me to this episode that I'm creating. Loads of people sent me in questions, so I've decided to answer 3 today with tarot cards. And well, yeah, for the DMC. It's basically just talking about love readings. But interestingly enough, and oh God, the way that I'm going through tangents today, shit. Interestingly enough, I actually was able to but I was able to listen to IMDb live on Instagram this morning. And she basically was saying how like, this Cancer season, she took time to reflect, introspect, and like be gentle with herself. And now Leo season, she's going to play. And she also said, you need to change your ammunition for love. So, no, you need to change your ammunition for this Leo season. Like people will want to fight, but you can choose love. Like change your ammunition. My ammunition is love. And I thought that was just such a great title for this podcast episode, because like when you choose love, whether it's for yourself, whether it's through others, you can never leave yourself behind, because you're always going to be providing a nurturing space that you can come back to. It's like if we treat our body as a home, if we treat our body as an altar, something that is made to look after, something that we're like careful how we I was about to say look after again, but like careful how we deal. It's like you don't want to like mess up your home, right? You don't want to like put rubbish into your home. You don't want to, put like your shoes on your bed. Like if you see your body as something that you want to protect, nurture, be compassionate for, like that is all reflections of love, and we can choose to love ourselves instead of be at war with ourselves. And I just think like choosing your ammunition for love can only make you feel more reassured, free and detached, because like if you love yourself, you don't really take other things personally. And this is not on, you know, that annoying bullshit of like those fucking self-help industrial complex of like love yourself and everything comes second, because I hate when people say that. Like I hate when people say like, oh, like let's say if I wanted to be in a relationship and I was like, oh, I want to be in a relationship, so I'm gonna be like, oh, you just have to love yourself first and then it works itself out. It's like, fuck off. Like there's so many different barriers that will influence the possibility of a relationship. It doesn't just come from self-love. Self-love is beautiful, it's restorative and it's comforting, but at the end of the day, love is intimacy. And like it's like the hermit card, right? The hermit is a character who loves to reflect, can be in isolation, a lot of introspection, but at the end of the day, he needs to share his wisdom. Like if you read every single book on this earth and you are the only person that you feed that knowledge to, who's it helping? Love needs to be in community, whether it's platonic, familial, romantic, sensual. Like love needs to be an expression that is shared. And like I think choosing love as your ammunition is also a comfort to the resistance and the frustration that is projected into the world. Do you know what it's like? It's like everybody's so fucking angry right now because, you know, monkeypox, the living crisis, financial crisis, COVID, yada, 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 like all the fucking, just navigating Babylon and everything. And they're just using people as an opportunity to get their frustrations out. And it's just like, look, I don't know you from Adam. Like I actually don't know you from Adam. So why don't we all relax? And you can take your energy elsewhere, because I choose love. Whether it's just me and my friends, me and my family, me, myself and I, me and my plants, just choose love. Just choose love, because when you choose love, you can really, really, really distance yourself from the weight and the burden of dissatisfaction. It's like you can be depressed and in love. And like, it took me such a while to think about that, because I always thought depression used to be like moody, deflated, frustrated, sad, weepy. And like, if I'm honest, over the past, let's say 6 months, I've had to really learn about how my depression coexists with joy. Like I can be deflated because of X, Y, and Z in my life or in my personal life, etc., etc. But that doesn't mean that I can't feel like replenished and optimistic and excited about the future possibilities. Like, isn't that just an expression, an example of how two things can be true at the same time? Like, because of my proactive choice of using love as an ammunition, I'm not deflated by what used to previously depress me, because what previously depressed me is still here, but it's just my changed relationship to it. So I just thought, before I go into tarot readings, it's just best to say, like, use love as your ammunition. Choose love as your ammunition. Change your ammunition to love. Thank you, IMDb, because that was honestly great quote that I stole. I'll credit you because you're a bad bee. Anyway, long story short, let's get into the tarot readings. So, the first one is a question: is love a choice? So, I have a certain idea, but I want to ask Spirit, Higher Power, Universe, do you think love... Oh God, these cards are flying out there, aren't they? Okay. Is love a choice, Spirit? Okay, love is an environment that can be constructed. Love is choice. Love is value. Okay. Spirit, can I have clarification? Jokes. Okay, so let me start here. Is love a choice? Yes. It starts with you. It starts with you choosing yourself. It starts with you putting in the actions and changing the belief systems which can replenish you so that you aren't fixated or distracted by external surroundings replenishing you. It's like if you love yourself, then you're not going to, if you can believe love is a choice, whether it's the actions and behaviors and the beliefs that you emit around yourself, you're not going to be looking for it outside of yourself. So that's the first message. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck with the clarifiers shows a figure who's in a cup of water, and she's just relaxing. And one thing I like about the Ace of Cups, like I always thought about this card as like feeling full, like my cup runneth over. But I also think this cup is like you being completely cleansed, because think about like when you come out of the bath, you know, like, or when you have like a salt bath, you know, or when you come out of the sea, like you are completely refreshed and your senses are all like fine-tuned to be receptive to like the environment that you're in. So when I think, and when someone asks me, is love a choice? I'm like, personally, yes, but I also think it's a behavior. And I think that's why the King of Pentacles came up next. The King of Pentacles, like, wants to share. The King of Pentacles is not a hoarder. The King of Pentacles loves to create things that can last a legacy, that can like last a lifetime, right? But the thing is with the King of Pentacles, they want a fair, reciprocal nature to their love. They don't want to give their pentacle, give their love away to a space which disregards it, because then that's going to feed into scarcity ideals and thinking that their love isn't enough. So they might do actions which are quote unquote out of love, but actually more for protection of their younger self. And I say younger self because there's something about this card and like the and this isn't even in a bad way, but the immaturity of the Taurus element, which means that it's something that they need to like, I need to take my jumper off. Damn, like this tarot reading's making me hot. To be fair, I also have like 3 lights on me. So like that probably doesn't help. But we go again. So I don't mean Taurus is immature in the sense of like their archetype is immature, but like you need to think that Taurus, Pisces and Aries are the babies of the zodiac. Like they are literally children. They are running off impulse. Well, Aries and Taurus are fucking, Pisces has swallowed everybody's energy up, that they're just reflecting what they want to see in the world. So with the King of Pentacles, when you see this figure upside down, it makes me think of something that they wish they would have learned, that they could have taken to their next step of life. And I think with the Taurus card being the first earth sign of the first earth sign, it's like this energy that's yet to mature in discipline. I think the Taurus element is very grounded, sensual, like they're very, very peaceful people. They all they want to do is eat and chill. Like all they do want to do is relax, but they want to feel safe and relaxed, and they don't want to feel like they are losing themselves in an environment which doesn't match their energy and doesn't match their like sweetness and softness. And this is what I mean, like with Taurus being the babies, like they are naive and impressionable and sensitive, but in a way that is so receptive. Like give a Taurus some wood, they're building a fucking treehouse. Like Taurus are so imaginative. They're some of the most creative people that I've ever met. They're able to envision so many possibilities because they have that practical edge to their life. But is love a choice? Yes, if the environments allow it to be. Because I promise you, Taurus could be some of the best lovers, Earth could be the best lovers, but because they're in a space where they might not be met with the right conditions, they might not think the environment is worthy to make their choice for love. If two people are in a relationship, for example, like a romantic relationship, they have a choice to choose each other, but they also have a choice in the union that they have together. It's like in the Lovers card, you see two people and then Angel Raphael on top. They choose themselves, but they choose their union in front of Angel Raphael because they are choosing a higher power, a higher setting, a difference in action, a difference in opinion to guide their love, you know? Shout out Leona Nicole Black because she spoke a little bit about that in her book, Tarot Therapy, which you all should buy because this is literally one of the most amazing books I've ever read. I started this book last week and I've only got 2 chapters left. Everybody get this motherfucking book. Anyway, the Two of Cups is sharing a common ground and a reconciliation of where your emotions can be in interpersonal relationships, and having the courage and the vulnerability to allow yourself to be seen wholeheartedly, whether that is in the emotions that we face or the opinions that we are grounded in. I think this is referred also in the Hierophant card, where it talks about unorthodox values, allowing the keys of information to be the keys of wisdom in expression. I think if this card is so like regulated or sort of associate. Oh my god, I dropped my mic. This card is so associated with like religious figures, right? But when you see it reversed, it's like unorthodox. So it's like, what's true to you? What beliefs do you hold? What metrics do you hold? And how are those your 10 divine commandments, which can allow you to determine what this love is? Because not everyone's relationship is going to be the same, whether it's their mother, their father, their brother, their romantic interest. You know, everybody's going to have a different expression of love, and everybody's going to have needs that are adapted. You know, like we're all unique individuals, so it's like having that unorthodox approach with compassion and faith and integrity to decide your decisions. And I think that's even just fitting because passion, faith, integrity, balance. Who does that all come under? Justice. It's law and effect. It's having the balance of the emotions between the rationale and the spirit with the information and integrity that can slice through the pillars. You know, it's coming above the societal ideals that are placed in the world and allowing us to feel fair and balanced in our love. So in response to your question, I do think love is a choice, but I think love is a behavior. I think love is an action. I think love is a proactive choice. And if you choose to love someone, you choose to be to extend grace. You choose to build, you choose to negotiate, you choose to understand. And I think those are the basis of a healthy love relationship, because you're able to see someone for who they are but still choose to evolve with them. So that is my response to the first question. I like that. It's very nice. Okay, so I'm going to use a different deck for this one. Spirit. Second question. How will I know if we're meant to work it out or let it go? Ooh. Okay. Spirit, higher power, universe. How will I know if I'm meant to let it out? No, if I'm meant to work it out or let it go. Ooh, okay, shit. Baby. Okay, I think I have an idea of this question, but Spirit, can I have a clarification? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, so whoever answered this question, you're mastering a craft. I can tell because the 8 of Pentacles are coming up. And I think when I think about the energy, it's like you learning how to advocate for yourself from your home. And this could be literally like you in your safe space, in your bedroom. This could be you in your workspace. This could be you in love. Like you are literally learning how to advocate for yourself, and you're mastering the craft because the Pentacles have taken time and patience to mature and develop into your body. And even earlier when I was like sort of comparing, oh, my laptop's gonna die. Ooh. This is why you make sure everything's nearby, kids. Okay. Okay, it's charging now. Sick. Yeah, so even when I was comparing the body as behaviors and the body as an altar, it's just sort of understanding that the 8 of Pentacles is like an expression of certain behaviors and disciplines that we can maintain to develop our goals. It is literally mastering a craft. Like every pentacle is as important as the last, and every pentacle will take its time and it will be as beautiful as the next. And the question was, let me repeat it because I've got these on my phone at the moment. How will I know if we're meant to work it out and let it go? Baby, take things slow in a way that you aren't deserting yourself in the pursuit of love. Like love can be slow, steady, optimistic and comforting. Like look at this horse. Like this horse, like it ain't going nowhere. And because this horse knows its worth. And this is reaffirmed by the 4 of Cups. Like, not every offer needs to be taken. Like, are you just accepting offers because they're present? Oh, drag. Oh my God, that was actually a personal drag on me. Scream. 333. Scream. Yeah, so are you only accepting offers because they're available? Because if you're asking me how am I going to work or let it go if it's not what you fucking want. Like, let it go if it's just something that you're told to be want. It's like, for example, it's like, so I'm going to talk about this in a gendered way, but this doesn't need to just refer to this gendered way. But it's like when women are encouraged to sleep with men because we're encouraged to do that. Like, if you want to, do it, but you're not missing out if you choose not to do it. Like, do it if you want to. Just because you're not sleeping with X, Y, and Z, or you haven't at all, doesn't mean that you're missing out on anything. It means that is not the experience that you're currently taking. And like, you might get confused or like conflicted because there's so many people talking about all their opportunities for intimacy, and there's you like, oh, but I'm taking the slow and steady way. But it's like, yeah, but even if you were to take it this way, would you even enjoy it? Like, why don't you just enjoy yourself in a way that is like comforting until you decide to choose to be in an either intimate or not relationship or experience with someone, because you might be offered the cup because you want to chase everybody else's standards, and then you realize that it wasn't even fucking worth it. And this is all reflected in your cards. Like, oh my God, the King of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. And the King of Cups is literally like emotional mastery. But when you see the card upside down, it's talking about how like these people, well, I'll just show it to you. The card is about emotional mastery, right? And the cups is all the lessons and the emotions, the emotional intelligence that we've learned on the way. This card is very like Cancerian, Scorpio, what else? Pisces. So like this is like a water sign in their prime emotional intelligence. However, I love this depiction of this card because look at all these books. This is all information. And I like how like this person's also wearing a mask in the card, because it's like, are they are their true emotions masquerading? No. Are their true emotions present, or are they being masked by external projections? It's like you feeling a certain way, but choosing not to allow yourself to feel that way because you don't know how it will come across. And Spirit is like, be you, boo. This card is important because all these books are a reflection of all the wisdom that he's learned from his life experience and learning how to lean into the ebbs of the flows of the waters of whatever emotions arise. Because at the end of the day, emotions are literally like, they're just traveling thoughts. They signal you to what you might think or what you might feel. But it's not to say that they're not. Like, some of them are very, very real, but some of them are exaggerated because of how much attention we place to things. And it's like learning how to detach yourself from the upheaval and the discomfort of all the emotions that could weigh us down. Like, you deserve peace just as much as anyone, but you actually need to start believing in it. And the King of Cups, understands that, but he had to learn it through education, relationship experience. Like, there were so many ways that it took time for him to become king, and that's the emotional lessons that we have in this life. It's like there's 60-year-olds on this planet right now who don't know how to be emotionally intelligent. There's 16-year-olds that are on this planet right now that know how to be emotionally intelligent. Like, it's not a race, it's literally a journey. And like, every experience is just another page or another chapter or another book to your development and your emotional catalogue of emotions, your emotional backlog of wisdom. You've got so much wisdom in you. But back to your reading. I keep on going back and forth. Question: how will I know if we're meant to work out or let go? Baby person. Wait, am I doing this right? I'm just going to hold my mic for a second. Personally, your cards say that you're doing more than this person is. And I think I'm going to just say this message as a general way. So take the meat, leave the bones. 7 of Pentacles have come up. And 7 of Pentacles is everybody's playing to their own drum. Everyone's playing their own rhythm. A card that's linked to patience, determination, knowing that your blessings that you desire aren't going to come overnight. So being receptive to your needs at said time, and not beating yourself on circumstances that you can't change. You're going to go through an alchemy because you're going to see what lessons and what truths are necessary to take with you and what are necessary to leave and to fully let go and to fully release in this rebirthing period. Because the 10 of Swords can signify sort of a caution to be like, are you overthinking to the point where you are overwhelmed? Or are you trying to release your information, thoughts, opinions that can well, it's like essentially putting things to rest. Like, I love this depiction because, like, you see this girl sitting with a sword around so many swords in a casket, and she's paying her respect to the identity that was once there, but now she knows that she can let go. But it's just like, how long do you want to sit there? How long do you want to mourn? And this comes back to your question, because the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands came up, and a card that's linked to boundaries is now a card linked to being guarded. It's like, this girl grew up into this girl, but does she still have the playfulness? Because this person's on job, this person's stunting, but this person over here is very, like, patient. They're literally kneeling on the ground. So, like, when I see these two cards, it just makes me think of, like, you can let things go if they don't cause you enjoyment. Like, you don't need to stick around in things just because of a perceived happy ever after, because you don't know if that happy after will ever come. And it could be with a person, it could be with a job, it could be a relationship. We're talking about love today, so I'm assuming it is specifically about person. But the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands came up, and this is like being stringed to someone's beliefs and also having to navigate conflict in an environment. So it makes me think that, like, you're trying to work things out and be patient for a person who's quite guarded, and this is sort of shrinking your inner child, because your inner child wants to, like, be, like, boisterous and playful and excited and, like, do enjoyment with the person, but because you are sort of shunning or shrinking yourself, you're, like, being held up by these strings of, like, the ideals and the projections and the perspectives that you're taking around, and it's just, like, exhausting. I'm going to pull out one more card for clarification. Spirit, higher power, please can I have a card for clarification? Okay, that was quick. Damn, shit. Yeah, you just need to surrender. Babe, you need to surrender. You need to let it go. Do you know how I fucking know that? You got Two of Cups, so it's definitely about an interpersonal relationship, which has caused you difficulty because you're trying to meet someone who isn't meeting you where you need to be. And the card that reflected that was the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man, even though it's like a stationary card, it is like a release card. It is like, what change of perspective can I make now when I'm in this position, so that I don't have to punish myself with the environment that I'm in. It's like let's say you move back to your parents' house, right? And you're deflated because you're like, shit, I'm an adult. Why the fuck am I moving back to my parents' house? But during that whatever months or whatever years that you were at your parents' house, you learn how to save, you learn how to ground yourself, you learn how to practice a compassionate a nurturing self-talk, you learn how to manage your rest, you know how to manage your play. Like, these are different things that can change your perspective whilst you're in an environment which you actually previously didn't want to be in, you know? And I think the Hanged Man is coming up to say, look, you're in this position because you put yourself up there, and this isn't now a fault of your own, but the way you go to next, it will become a fault of your own if you don't decide to find presence and find reflectiveness in the situation. It's like you're being given all these signs, but you're not doing the introspection work to find out why. And then that's causing you more confliction because you're like, but I've been working so hard. Why haven't I got my things yet? And now it's making you mentally exhausted because you're like, I can feel my old self dying and a new self re-emerging, but I always feel like I'm on the defense. So how can I let this go? Because you want to like leave the smoke and the mirrors and this confusion behind you, but the environment that is bringing you to change is still a bit like confusing. So I do think that, like, personally, use the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Cups as signifiers to how to process this information. I think that you need to do some introspection work to understand what core belief is this person or this experience challenging in me, and that's where your change of perspective will come from. What your current situation is your current situation is your current situation. So breathe, let it be. Like, this is literally like you have just gone from like level 1 to level 10, and now you're at level 1 again. You've literally reloaded. So take this as your normal and your presence and work from there. Don't stall and beat yourself from what was in the past, because that's not going to help you where you're going. It's going to just bring you more confusion. You can use this as an opportunity for another lesson or another chapter, another book in your vast, infinite amount of emotional wisdom. But it all starts with you. It's literally your change perspective. So yeah, be compassionate to yourself, because I promise you, the more frustrated you become, the more stagnation you'll feel. But you have the choice to learn about this in a safe, proactive, comforting way. Like, if this message is really hitting, you can even just like join my Discord chat or book a reading with me. I'm going to be posting more shit on my Patreon as well. So you don't have to do this alone. Like, you don't need to change your perspective alone, but changing your perspective is your liberation for freedom. And when you change your perspective, you're going to be like, oh shit, I can't believe I was so pressed. And I'm going to be like, baby, don't worry, because I was there too. But yeah, that's your answer to your question. Okay. Right. So for the last one, and this actually is such a good question to end on, because it's going to talk about something that I briefly mentioned in the last one. So I'm going to just shuffle these cards really quickly. Dear higher power, dear angels, dear spirit team, my last question: can you provide tips for not putting walls up? Okay. Oh, the Hanged Man came out again. Okay. Bottoms up, bottoms up. Why do I get that song just come into my head by Trey Songz? Okay, spirit. Tips for not putting walls up. Okay. Can I just have one clarification? Ah. This is such a beautiful reading. And then, can we end with a oracle card, please? Everyone breathe in and out with me. My eyebrows look amazing. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to keep on doing this look. Oh, okay. This is beautiful. Okay. So, actually, let me take some water again. Okay, sorry if you guys heard that, but I need to drink. So, interestingly enough, Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, in reverse position. And the question was like, tips for not putting walls up. I think that the Ace of Cups reversed came out at the bottom of the deck because it's trying to talk about how we are so close to the collective subconscious. We are very empathetic in a way which we are we feel the pain of others, but we're so close to feeling the pain of others that we can't differentiate what is our own to carry. And this can make it feel quite burdensome, like burden. Hello guys, I'm back. Can I just fucking say that podcasting is not for the faint-hearted? Because I thought that I just lost my fucking podcast. Like, as in what I just recorded. And I was fucking spitting facts. I was spitting fire. And it's to the point where, like, I'm spitting fire and God forbid that I lose that. Because will I release? No. I'm too tired. I'll be angry at myself, angry at my laptop, and angry and everything in between. Because I know I have wisdom to share. But if anything, that shows me that I'm going to get through this last reading super, super quickly. Because I'm too scared that things might lose. Like, I'm literally recording this at 1 a.m. I'm going to release the episode at like maybe 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pardon me. I don't know yet. But basically, I'm just going to go quick fire through this episode so that I can share my wisdom and go to fucking bed because I need to take these fucking, just these pink eyebrows off. Anyway, long story short. So the third question, or the third reading in question, is tips for not putting walls up, right? We got the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And I like the fact that we got this at the bottom of the deck because it makes me think about how we are so close to the collective subconscious, and in our life, one of our journeys requirements is to detach ourselves from the sea of other people's emotions and other people's feelings. And I think the reason why we find it hard to detach from the emotions is because we're just empathetic people, and we might get lost in helping others, seeing things from other people's perspectives, so that we don't want to focus on our own emotional regulation and our own emotional intelligence, and therefore we may put up walls to stop that process altogether, or we might suppress those emotions as another like avoidance tactic to putting walls up, distancing ourselves from our feelings, etc., etc., etc. And the Ace of Cups is really here saying that, like, you can't suppress water. Like, water is vacuous. Like, water takes up space of whatever it holds. And, like, the sheer volume of water, like, I think even humans, like, we're 75% of water, right? So, like, even, like, the way the moon will bring in the tides of the sea and the river, the, like, you know, beaches and all of the oceans and all of them things there. Sorry if I said that completely wrong. I was never good at geography. Anyway, the moon will bring the tides in of the waters. We have all of that in our body. So how ignorant is it for us to think that we will not be affected by the moon and the collective subconscious and the emotions that is available to around us? It's like, I had a tarot reading with someone recently and they were so deflated and they were like beating themselves to be deflated. And I was like, have you seen the world that we're currently living in? Like, have you seen it? Like, being depressed and being anxious is a completely valid reflection of the current world we're living in. So please don't beat yourself up. And, like, I think I need to say that again in this tarot reading, because, like, the Ace of Cups is an opportunity to fall in love with yourself again. And this is an opportunity to change a core belief that you don't think is worthy of fighting for. Because if the question was like, I want tips to stop putting walls up, like, what was the reason you put the walls up in the first place? Like, ask yourself that wholeheartedly. Like, what was the reason why I put holes up in the first place? Like, sort of work backwards, because when you're able to work backwards, you're able to sort of see the patterns which got you there in the first place. And therefore, if they were ever to resurface, let's say experience like triggered you in an environment that was similar to your past, then you'll be able to change lanes or swim, you know, with the current instead of against it. And I mean this to say, the Hanged Man came up again, so we need to surrender and release and let things be. Like, look how in this depiction, like, this person this person is sort of like tied and tangled and a bit deflated by their position. But now this person has got a book in their hand and they're trying to play with the butterflies. So it's literally like changing your perspective to the environment that you're in. Like the walls that we put up are just a reflection of what needs to be poured into. So if you have a wall up about emotional availability, like there's somewhere in your life that you were shown that if you were emotionally available, you wouldn't have had your needs met. And it's kind of understanding that that experience isn't going to be all experiences, but if you've had repeated exposure to that experience, it's going to be harder for you to overcome it. But you can do this in community. You can do this with like in therapy. You can do this with trusted friends. You can do it with so many, like even your animals. Like I love all my friends who have pets are able to have this intuitive, emotional, instinctual support from all their animals, because they're able to tap into different frequencies which allow them just to be. And I think, like, I bring this up to say, like, there's so much wisdom in so many different things around us, and like we need to use that wisdom to as information to detach the emotions from our mind, because at the end of the day everything is temporary. We need to remember this. Like if you feel low, you'll feel better one day. If you feel better, you'll feel low one day. Like that is literally how life works. But in life, we've put so much more attention on chasing happiness and chasing comfort that we don't realize that sometimes the thing that will give our happiness or give us our peace is going to be uncomfortable at first. And I think that's the realization and the liberation of the Hanged Man card. Like what we used to tie him down now has set him free. And like, look at how playful this person is. He's literally reading whilst catching butterflies. Butterflies, metamorphosis, change. Like someone has literally gone through, well, butterfly has gone from a cocoon to a beautiful butterfly. So it just shows you that like, this person is able to be free and adapt and be fluid to the energetic and kinetic energy that's available to them, that will allow them to open up and purge into a new person. And if you're asking me for tips for releasing, for you stopping, put these walls up, change your perspective, have hope, pray into the land. Like even when I was walking home today, I was walking past the river and I just said thanks to Spirit for all the things that had come my way, just as a reminder of like how I can move alongside the energy around me to remind me of my goals. Like I don't need to just save it for a prayer at night. Like I can actually like share it with the land. And this is another practice that can help me think that I'm not doing it on my own. Like we put walls up because we want to isolate ourselves from that availability. But like, raw, if you see me talking to a tree, you see me talk to a tree, innit? Just mind your business. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like you're navigating this space alone. So find behaviors which can remind you to reinstill your faith alone, you know? And like, I mean it in the sense of like, let's say if you're the sort of person that will like say shit to yourself in the mirror, or you're like me and you talk to fucking trees and rivers, like, bruv, no one, who gives a fuck if anybody's watching you? If it can help you in that moment, fucking do it. Because I promise you, the more you do it, the more that you'll have faith. Even if you're just talking to your fucking pet, like talk to your pet. Like you're able to stop putting walls up unconsciously, because you're removing, like, let's say you put up a wall, put about a specific thing in your life. If you put this specific thing in your life and let a tree know it, you're giving the energy for the tree to hold. Like it's not just on your back anymore. We've got the 9 of Cups and the 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. No, not at the bottom of the deck, in this suit as well. So you see someone at the bottom of the river and they're looking to a swan that's going to save them. And you've also got someone on this card that is sitting on top of a house, sort of playing fishing with all the cups. And like in cups to this in this extent is like capacities for love, is capacities to heal, its capacities to create, share, change, beliefs. Like its capacity to like sort of hydrate your body in a way that is cleansing and spiritual and empowering, you know. And like when I see the Nine of Cups, typically found as like, make a wish card, I just think like, look, like if I was at the bottom, it can only go up. Like that quote will always come into my head. And it's like, if we've faced extreme extremities in our life that have made us feel like we've hit rock bottom, why are we so slow at, not slow, that's not the right word. Why are we so reserved in thinking about all the things that can go up? It's like when we were younger, it was so much easier to be playful, so much easier to be curious. I understand adulting, especially during the pandemic, especially like financial crisis, etc., 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 makes it a little bit harder. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a different approach to make that journey easier, because the Nine of Cups talks about like leaving and freeing yourself of obstacles and using your imagination as a pathway to your belief system. And even the Four of Cups, like it's don't waste your time in idle activities which can't fulfill you. Like the container, the capacity for your love has changed, so therefore your demands will change. And if you are putting up walls, you are identifying what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. So even then it can be a tool to identify what capacity you need, Like I love, even in this card, the butterflies, this metamorphosis energy is even reappearing in this card, because this figure who's fishing has butterfly wings. And she gained her wings for her strength. She gained her wings from her compassion, her rawness, and her ability to integrate her inner knowing as a like an inner compass to navigate life. But there is like this resistance, I feel, this interference in the air of us getting true to our inner compass. And in reality, like there's secrets that your subconscious knows, that your body knows, that can be such a better director than anybody that you could ever speak to. But this is going to take time and patience and confidence. Like I know this because the High Priestess has come up, and the High Priestess is literally like the seer, the manifestator, the generator, the observer, the diviner. Like she believes in intuition, but using it as a tool to open up timelines and pathways that could create anything. Like the seer is in between all possibilities, and she just needs to get the rest, the imagination, and the comfort to explore them, because some of it can be quite dark, but she does not have to possess the full weight of the darkness, because she knows that if this darkness is a possibility for imagination, so will the illumination of the light, and so is the illumination of my blessings. That kind of went a little bit esoteric just then, but I mean it to say, like, if we're trying to release actually, let me refer to the question before I go back and forth and get into my spiritual bag. Tips for not putting walls up. You need to, one, change your perspective. Become the person who's educated and use the metamorphosis period to lean into your new desires. This is also referred to the star card. You need to instill faith in yourself. The habits that you can develop can be shared with the land, with your angels, with celestial forces, with your spirit team, so that it's not burdening you to hold. The Nine of Cups even says that your capacity and your aspects of dreams can't be contained to your eye. Like you want to dream bigger, but you're scared to dream bigger. So you need to have faith that possibilities are available to you, and even if you don't believe them now, like everything you want wants you to, like you just need to be open and compassionate on your way to them. So be open and compassionate to opportunities of love, whether that is workshops, people, creative spaces, because that is all evidence and all examples of how we can be in a co-creative space of harmony. Next card, Four of Pentacles, no, Four of Cups, sorry. Yeah, like if people are interested in you and you're not interested in them, that can just be an example of like your container, like you have changed, like you literally have changed. And your capacity for love has changed. Your needs for love has changed. Like, don't use it as a deflating tool, but use it as like okay, I see this now. How can I identify what I want and what I don't want? And let's work from there. Like, if you're worried about putting walls up, think about like what walls actually need to stay there and what can actually be the walls to my foundation, and what can I build on this foundation so that I don't have to feel so adamant and persistent on why I need to put walls up, So use it to identify. And then the last card, well, I got one more card, but you got the High Priestess here, and you are so much capable of so much knowledge, so much wisdom. Like, there's a reason why you have walls up. There's your intuition and your secrets are the biggest director in your life than anything. Like any therapist, any fucking teacher, any podcast. Like even me listening to you now. Like I'm just a fucking mirror. Like I'm literally a mirror, but your intuition, everyone's intuition, any person who's listening to this, your intuition is a bigger telltale than anything that you will ever interact with in your life. And through patience and faith and honesty and compassion, you're going to have more confidence believing in it. You're going to have more confidence in believing in yourself. And that can actually determine why you choose to put walls up or not. You need to be reflective, but you need to also be understanding. Like you need to reflect shamelessly. And I think that's probably my last tip for navigating why you shouldn't be putting walls up. I want to finish this reading off with this oracle message. It says, be the reason, you can't even read it because it sounds backwards, but it says, it's from Kelechi's deck. It says, be the reason that somebody smiles today. It's number 32. Okay, I'm just getting it up. So, a kind word or a smile is enough to shift the energy in your immediate world. Putting kindness out into the world increases the chances of kindness making its way back to you. That was so cute. Yeah, well, those are the first few questions. I've got quite a few more, so I think I'm going to just do this as a bi-weekly thing. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed it, even though I should definitely be in bed right now because I have to be out in I literally need to be out of the house in 10 hours. Oopsie. Oh well though. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Find me on TikTok, DM.Seerah. I'm going to start promoting more on there. If you want a tarot reading with me, book on my website, www.DM.Seerah.com. Yeah, big things are coming for me and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you so you can watch it too. I love you and leave you. Have the best fucking weekend. Happy fucking Sunday. Happy DM Talks Day. Yeah, we're lit. See you soon. Bye.